After CJ Stroud's historic 2023 rookie season, all the money is on the Texans to win the AFC South. FanDuel currently has their odds to win the division at plus 105. Everybody's betting on the Texans. However, if you take a closer look, there's one team who might be a dark horse to make some noise. There's one team that they need a couple of pieces fall into place, but this team and their offense especially can be explosive and give CJ Stroud and the Texans a very good run at their money in the division. Let's get to it.
Richardson straight ahead. Anthony Richardson is in the end zone for a Colts touchdown. And that deserves a wow. Second loss.
If you look at the AFC South division last season, it ended with the standings like so. The Texans in first at 10-7. The Jaguars and Colts tied in second at 9-8. And the Tennessee Titans a bit behind at 6-11. And I'd like to focus on the Colts. If you look at the Colts season last year, 13 games were started by Gardner Minshew. 13 games were played by Gardner Minshew. Gardner Minshew isn't a very good quarterback. Gardner Minshew, in those games, completed 62% of his passes, had a 15-9 touchdown to interception ratio, and put up an 84.6 quarterback rating. And yet the Colts somehow managed to win 9 games, and their offense finished top 10 in the NFL in points for, despite having Gardner Minshew at their quarterback. How did that happen? Well, let's take a look at their roster. Starting with their offensive line, they have at left tackle, Bernhard Raimann, left guard, absolute unit in Quentin Nelson. At center, one of the top centers in the league in Ryan Kelly. Right guard, Will Fries, probably their lowest point of the offensive line. And at right tackle, another unit in Braden Smith. PFF's preseason rankings has them as the third best offensive line in the NFL. The offense runs through the offensive line. The offensive line is the key to the offense. If you have a good offensive line, you're going to be competitive. It's going to be hard to get your offense off the field. However, you also need weapons. So let's take a look at their weapons. And obviously, at running back, they have one of the best in the league. He's been a top pick in fantasy football before. Jonathan Taylor, a dog at running back. And at receiver, they're stacked. Their top receiver, obviously, Michael Pittman. At wide receiver 2, they have a guy going into his second year of the season, his second season in the NFL, Josh Downs. Very impressive rookie season. Do not sleep on Josh Downs. And at wide receiver 3, they have their first round pick, Adonai Mitchell. And all three of these guys are very good, very explosive receivers. It's going to be hard to cover all three of them, especially when the quarterback has so much time in the pocket because of the offensive line, and especially when you have to have extra bodies in the box because you know that Jonathan Taylor can kill you. Jonathan Taylor is a threat, and him and the offensive line are the keys to this offense. However, it doesn't matter how many great weapons you have, who you have on the offensive line, who you have running the ball, if you don't have a quarterback. So let's take a look at the X factor in this offense. Guy who's drafted 4th overall just a year ago. It seems to have been forgotten, besides for Pat McAfee show, of course. Anthony Richardson is a dog. Anthony Richardson, in 4 games in the NFL last year, he put together a 59.5% completion percentage, which isn't great, a 3-to-1 touchdown interception ratio, an 87.3 quarterback rating, but in only 4 games, and he missed the second half in 2 of them, he put together 136 rushing yards and 4 rushing touchdowns. Anthony Richardson, in his final season in the SEC, the best conference in college football in 2022, in 12 games, 53.8 completion percentage, which is a problem, but 17-9 touchdown interception ratio and 654 yards on the ground and 9 rushing touchdowns in only 12 games. Anthony Richardson has Cam Newton-like ability to run the ball. He is athletic. He can make plays. And obviously, the outlier in all those stats I just read out was his completion percentage. And completion percentage plays in the NFL, you have to be competent. Your mind has to work to play quarterback in the NFL. So pieces are going to have to fall into place. So this is not a guarantee. This is very hit or miss. However, if those pieces fall into place for Anthony Richardson, if Anthony Richardson is able to take advantage of this top 3 offensive line, the incredible running back he has in the backfield with him, and the 3 explosive receivers he's throwing to, watch out. They're going to be a lot better than a top 10 offense next year. Top 10 offense with Gardner Minshew at their quarterback. Only got better, adding Adonai Mitchell and Anthony Richardson returns. Why are these guys not being talked about? Especially with Shane Steichen as their head coach. When he was the OC in Philadelphia, who had a very parallel offense. They had a mobile quarterback with a low completion percentage, very good offensive line, and a lot of explosiveness in the receiver room. Shane Steichen took them to the Super Bowl. Shane Steichen can do a lot with the Colts offense if Anthony Richardson is healthy. And it's a lot of ifs right now, so I wouldn't place too much money on them. You need Anthony Richardson to read the field, get that completion percentage up. You need Anthony Richardson to stay healthy, which is not a guarantee. His running style, his wild style of play will lead to a lot of injuries. Obviously, his pro comp was Cam Newton. Cam Newton's career ended prematurely because of injuries. We saw Anthony Richardson have a very short rookie season because of injuries. However, that gives him a little bit of time to stay on the side, learn from Gardner Minshew, who's been around the block. And we've seen quotes from veteran quarterbacks, Brady Rodgers, talking about how much sitting and learning helps the quarterback. I expect Anthony Richardson to take massive strides forward in year 2. I cannot tell you if he'll stay healthy or not. I just can't do it. However, if he's on the field, Shane Steichen's offense is going to be a problem. I'm not saying the Texans are going to be bad, but Shane Steichen, Anthony Richardson, Josh Downs, Jonathan Taylor, Michael Pittman, Adonai Mitchell, all the guys in this offense, they're going to be an issue. FanDuel currently has the Colts at plus 330 to win the AFC South. I'm not guaranteeing anything, but that could be an easy way to turn $10 into $43. Think about it. Thank you for watching.
Richardson straight ahead. Anthony Richardson is in the end zone for a Colts touchdown. And that deserves a wow. Second loss.